Hello everybody and welcome to the Sonoma Raceway for the NASCAR Cup Series 2025 Toyota Save Mart 350. Here the 20th race of our regular season and third round of the in-season tournament. Shane Van Gisbergen and Chris Buescher lead us to the green flag as SVG out to the early lead here in Sonoma. No surprise at all, already trouble behind us. Cars spinning off here into turn one. Multiple cars with issues. Carson Hocevar has damage on the 77. Chase Briscoe is in no man's land. Hocevar got slammed into the wall by Priest, who then just body checks Chase Briscoe, who goes for a ride up in the hills, almost flips himself over off of the invisible wall. So hard hit there for the 77 Hocevar. Briscoe almost upside down. A wild start to this race so far here in Sonoma. On only the first few corners, the first lap, and more trouble. Cindric and Christopher Bell go around as well. The 2 and the 20 as Logano gets hooked by Bell, cleans out his teammate Austin Cindric. Significant damage to both Team Penske drivers. And that really makes things intriguing here in this in-season challenge. Of course, Logano going up against Bowman, Cindric going up against Kyle Busch in this quarterfinal round. But at the front, it's Shane Van Gisbergen leading the field here in Sonoma from pole position. No surprise to anybody at all, but we'll see if he can finally close one of these dominant road course performances out with a win, which he has yet to do this season, which is what is preventing him from locking himself into the playoffs. As he's got here and Watkins Glen, their last two chances to punch his ticket to the playoffs, but so far so good for SVG in the 88. He leads the opening lap of racing, so after that initial chaos, Carson Hocevar, the only car out of the race in the 77, he will finish in last place as Chris Buescher and SVG battle for the lead off into turn two. Here comes Chris Buescher. Can he take the lead away from Shane Van Gisbergen? Not quite. SVG keeps his foot in it on the outside lane. Here comes Shane Van Gisbergen, the 88, working on Chris Buescher with the 17. Almost gets clear, but he has to lift on exit, allowing SVG back to his outside. The 88 now clear for the race lead. SVG ready to go set sail from P1, and that's exactly what he's done here. On the very last lap of stage one, he has led all 32, and it's about to be all 33 laps, and he has a 15-second lead over Kyle Larson here. Absolute dominance, and he is looking to finish this with his third stage win of the season and make it third stage win in a row. Is through the hairpin for the final time. Shane Van Gisbergen wins stage one in Sonoma. It will go to SVG in dominating fashion by over 15 seconds over the 5 of Kyle Larson, who is just now making his way across the start-finish line to come home P2 in this stage, followed by Tyler Reddick in third. Chris Buescher in the 17, a little ways back, making his way to come home in fourth, earn 7 stage points. How about AJ Allmendinger rounding out the top 5 as he continues to be in a really good spot in the point standings here this season. William Byron comes through in 6th. Alex Bowman looking for 3 wins in a row in 7th. McDowell 8th. Chase Elliott 9th. And the final stage point going to go to two-time Cup Series champion Kyle Busch in the 8, getting some much needed points here as he enters this race below the cut line. Needs some points here to get back above that cut line over Austin Cindric, and that's exactly what he's doing here. So SVG dominates stage 1, easily picking up the stage win. Now back away in stage 2, that he lost the track position though, so now it's Reddick and Larson the front row on lap 36. Now the 45 to the point, but Larson fighting back to the inside. Reddick, Larson continue to do battle side by side for the lead here into turn 1 in Sonoma. It's going to be Tyler Reddick maybe. It looks like prevailing. There goes Ty Dillon and Chase Elliott into the tire barrier. A big moment in this race. The 9 of Chase Elliott, huge damage to one of the favorites into the tire barrier hard with Ty Dillon. Riley Herbst also got turned around by Christopher Bell there. Cole Custer caught a piece of that. And a wild restart here to begin stage number 2 is going to take Chase Elliott out of this race here in Sonoma. Huge development there. He was one of the favorites to contend for this win. So now it's Larson and Buescher on this restart. And now Chris Buescher with the advantage here as they go into turn 2, heading up the hill towards turn 3. Chris Buescher clear for the lead in Sonoma over Kyle Larson and William Byron. Can Buescher drive away and set sail to what could be a big day for him today here in Sonoma? Of course, he already has that win at Mexico City. That locked himself into the playoffs. He's trying to get more playoff points. Some contact there with Justin Haley. Catherine Legg almost caused a crash. Luckily, everyone able to hang on and continue. Now a little later in the run, Josh Berry, Logano, Reddick 3 wide up the track. They go in the tire barrier. Josh Berry upside down Up and over for a bubble driver. Big playoff implications. Berry upside down. Joey Logano taken out. Reddick collects some damage. So with Logano being out of this race, that automatically will transfer Alex Bowman into the in-season tournament semi-finals, where he will face the winner of the Kyle Busch-Austin Cindric matchup, which Busch has pretty handily won at the moment, as now William Byron to the lead, the number 24 here on this restart. But Larson gets back to his outside, nearly 3 wide. Larson and Byron, the Hendrick teammates, doing battle for the race lead here in Sonoma. Who will prevail? Larson on the outside lane, able to step on the gas quicker, and Larson back to the lead here in Sonoma, getting around the 24 of William Byron. And now here we are, 3 to go in the stage. Larson coming down for a scheduled green flag pit stop here. He will be flipping the stage, pitting now to stay out at the end of the stage, get that track position. Chris Buescher and SVG stay out here as they take 2 to go in the stage to go for the stage points and the stage win here. Buescher, of course, in the in-season challenge as well. He is matched up against Bubba Wallace in the 23 today. He's got him handily beat. Here we are, last lap, stage 2. Buescher in the lead. SVG chasing him down in second, trying to sweep the stages for the second week in a row. Did it last week at the Chicago Street Race, but ended up choking the win away and finishing in 15th after some poor strategy decisions late in the race. And now Chris Buescher continues to drive away from Shane Van Gisbergen, with SVG hanging tough, not letting Buescher get too far ahead, just staying right within striking distance here, trying to set up a move. This would be a great spot to make the move here into this carousel corner, heavy braking zone into the S's. SVG decides to just wait, stay behind Chris Buescher, be patient, bide his time here, and he might be setting up a move into that final hairpin corner as they go through the S's for the final time in this stage. SVG trying to find a way by Chris Buescher. Byron is actually a lap down behind them. Keep note of that, as with him trapped a lap down, he's up against Ty Gibbs, who's currently P4 right now, in a great spot to advance to the semifinals himself, this in-season challenge. Here we are, heading to the hairpin for the final time. SVG, a big run to the inside. Here comes Shane Van Gisbergen. He set up Chris Buescher for this move in the final corner. Absolutely brilliant stuff. SVG to the lead in the final corner of the stage. Here comes Buescher back on the inside. It's going to be a drag race to the line. Buescher, SVG, who is it? The scoring ticker says Chris Buescher by 1/100th of a second. Unbelievable. Holds off SVG for the stage win. Oh my. That was incredible. Tyler Reddick comes across 3rd. Ty Gibbs 4th. AJ Allmendinger 5th. Followed up by, even after making his pit stop, Kyle Larson will still be 6th in this stage, getting a solid 5 stage points. But he's going to get that track position back at the beginning of this 3rd and final stage, and that's crucial. Of course, Larson going for the race win here today at a track he's been so successful at over the years. And Kyle Busch continues to have a very strong day. 7th, another 4 stage points to his cause. McDowell comes through in 8th. How about Cole Custer in the 41 in 9th, and Bowman will snag the last stage point in the 48. Of course, he's already advanced to the next round of the in-season challenge and is trying to go for his 3rd win in a row. But Chris Buescher, a incredible photo finish to end stage 2, heels off SVG for the stage win. Now it's Larson and Bowman, the Hendrick teammates, the front row here as we get back underway with 39 laps to go here in Sonoma. Larson going to clear the 48, just a better car all day long, continues to show that here. Larson clear over Bowman as we head towards the downhill sections of turns 3 and 4. Noah Gragson, I just saw, got sent off in the tire barrier. More trouble back here. Riley Herbst and Ryan Preece get turned into each other thanks to Christopher Bell and Catherine Legg. So these two go around. They get together a tough performance, and we're going to minute see what happened here. The 4 of Noah Gragson just gets tagged by Austin Dillon. Gragson sliding off here into the tire barrier, but cautions come out again, and really the pace of this race is really being dragged down to a halt here with all these cautions back to back to back that we're having here. Larson still going to be our leader this time alongside Blaney, as SVG and Tyler Reddick both really confusingly come down pit road here when there really is no need to. It's a little too early to come in for your final stops. Now here comes Ty Gibbs going 3 wide for the lead. Big trouble behind us. A massive pileup in a turn 2. That is Zane Smith, turned by Daniel Suarez, collecting William Byron, Alex Bowman, Catherine Legg, and Cody Ware tied Dillon off in the dirt in a multi-car accident. Bowman, Byron, a couple of key Hendrick drivers who are in the top 10 involved in this. Luckily, both guys still be in the race. Byron, though, trapped a lap down, but Bowman on the lead lap in the 48, continuing his strong string of races here. As now it's Chris Buescher and Ty Gibbs the front row as Larson pits. So now here we are, still got 33 to go. Buescher and Gibbs the front row here in Sonoma. It looks like the 17 of Chris Buescher going to clear Ty Gibbs. Leading off goes Stenhouse as Catherine Legg gets turned into the Armco barrier by Erbst. Back into Stenhouse, sends Ricky off into the dirt. So Stenhouse and Legg go around. So here we are, another caution as we continue to rack up the cautions in this crazy, chaotic Sonoma race. Very similar to the Xfinity simulation we just did yesterday. Now, on this restart, with now 30 to go, it is Larson and Todd Gill in the front row. It's McDowell and Allmendinger, who were going to cycle out to be the leaders, both pitted right as we took the green. So now Larson in the lead over Van Gisbergen and McDowell. A big wreck. There goes Austin Cindric in the 2. And he actually wipes out Denny Hamlin. It was a vicious impact into that tire barrier. So Denny and Cindric now will crash out. And now with Cindric being out of this race, that will automatically transfer Kyle Busch into the in-season challenge semifinals, where he will face Alex Bowman next week in Dover. Behind us, trouble around goes Bubba Wallace in the 23, and his tough day continues. Just gets tagged by Eric Jones, goes for a spin here in the sand. We continue on. After the Bubba Wallace spin, a few more cars going off in the sand, kicking up some dust behind them as we try to reset here, figure out where everyone is, and with all the strategies. Right now at the front of the field, it is Kyle Larson leading Ty Gibbs. And so now here we are. They had a bit of a green flag run, so I have a restart with 17 laps to go. And it is Ty Gibbs alongside Eric Jones. Jones currently a lap car. Austin Dillon just DNF'd. He's currently in 32nd position. Of course, earlier, a big wreck behind us. There goes Chris Buescher and Shane Van Gisbergen. The favorite for the win. Multiple favorites involved in this. Allmendinger, SVG, Chris Buescher all go spinning here in turn 2. In a crucial moment, we'll see if they can recover. Bubba Wallace also got sent off into the tires back there. And the chaos continues here in this final stage at Sonoma. Just absolute bumper cars, near demolition derby going on here. As Ty Gibbs was the leader, so now Gibbs restarts alongside Kyle Larson, who just blows him away on the restart. 11 laps to go. Kyle Larson in the lead, trying to drive away and get a rhythm to this race over Ty Gibbs. If we can make it through turn 1, no, we cannot. Another crash behind us. Alex Bowman wipes out Todd Gilliland. Hard hit to the tire barrier. Noah Gragson also gets collected with Ty Dillon and Bubba Wallace at the back end of it. The 4, and the tough day for Front Row Motorsports continues here in Sonoma, and what could be their last race as a chart team. Now C-Bell and SVG going way out the course. Look out for the porta potty going way off the mountain. Bell SVG flying through the air, absolutely destroys the nose of his car in the sand. I don't even know where they thought they were going, but SVG has once again choked away a golden opportunity at clinching his way into the playoffs and a victory, where he dominated the first stage of this race, was still in the top 10 in contention, and then crashes himself out. So now here we are, 12 to go. It's Reddick and Larson. Another crash behind us. I saw someone just got turned into the barrier, I think. Oh, I'm not sure. They must have saved it. So we stay green as Larson and Reddick continue to do battle for the race lead here, as Gragson, Gilliland, and Van Gisbergen all out of this race. And with SVG out, that really shakes things up here in Sonoma. Of course, he was the favorite to win this race. Was looking like it early, but never was able to get back to the lead as Chastain and Byron go spinning off here at the exit of the S's to bring out a caution here with just 11 laps to go. So we'll have yet another restart here in this final stage with Kyle Larson and Tyler Reddick on the front row here with less than 10 to go. This time it is just 8 laps to go, and Priest and Briscoe, what in the world? Go up in the air, upside down. Priest barreling down the front straightaway. Him and Briscoe phase together. The typical NR2003 restart glitch strikes again. This time taking out 2 more bubble drivers of Ryan Priest and Chase Briscoe. And we'll rack them up and we'll redo it once again. So now this restarts with 6 laps to go, and Kyle Larson, a huge launch, easily clearing Tyler Reddick. That could be the difference. And Larson is off to the races, away from Chris Buescher, trying to drive away and bring home win number 4 of 2025. White flag in the air. Final lap presented by Credit One Bank here in Sonoma, and heading towards the hairpin for the final time. Kyle Larson is going to cap off a dominant second half of this race. He has surpassed SVG in laps led on the day. Going to lead the most laps and pick up win number 4 of 2025. Kyle Larson is California dreaming. He wins in Sonoma. Larson picks up the victory. Chris Busher comes home in second, followed by Ty Gibbs in third, Michael McDowell fourth, AJ Allmendinger runs on the top 5, Ryan Blaney in sixth. How about Cole Custer, a top 10 effort in seventh, Bowman 8th, Kyle Busch 9th, and Tyler Reddick, who ended up coming down pit road here towards the end of this race, will round out the top 10 here in Sonoma as Larson gets his 29th career win, tying him with Joey Logano. And he led 46 of 110 laps on the day. Taking advantage of SVG's misfortunes, Larson goes to victory lane for the 4th time in 2025. Once again, he gets the job done here in Sonoma. And here are your final race results. Larson the winner. Another great road course runs from Chris Buescher, Ty Gibbs. Both drivers advancing into the semifinals of the in-season tournament where they will face each other. Then Michael McDowell, AJ Allmendinger, road course ringers as expected. Great runs inside the top 5. Blaney, a much-needed top 10. Cole Custer, great top 10 effort. Bowman's win streak ends at 2, coming home 8th. Kyle Busch, a much-needed top 10 effort. Then see the rest of the grid there. The guys who really had struggles today, Christopher Bell down there in 20th. Obviously, SVG choking away another golden opportunity. I mean, I started getting worried if I was that Trackhouse operation. You only got one more road course before the playoffs. That's going to be SVG's last shot. It's going to be at Watkins Glen in a couple of weeks. We'll see if he can do that, as he did bring home the fastest lap award. So here's the updated standings. Now just 6 races remain of the regular season. If you're not in, you got to find a way to get the victory lane to punch your ticket to these playoffs. You remain at 9 drivers. Larson, top of the board. Briscoe, Logano, Keselowski, Wallace, now Allmendinger and Busch, both comfortable on points. Josh Berry sits on that bubble, just 14 above his teammates of Cindric and Ryan Blaney, who are both on the outside looking in. Denny Hamlin is 21st in points currently, out by 70. Denny is in a must-win scenario, which is very rare for him. But, you know, Dover is next week, and that's one of his best racetracks. So Denny might have to deliver again in Dover if he wants to be in the playoffs this year, as it has been a rough stretch of races for that 11 team. And now here's your in-season challenge update. Of course, semifinal set for Dover next week. We got some juicy matchups. Alex Bowman versus Kyle Busch should be a very competitive matchup in Dover. Both drivers top 10 a season ago. Both drivers former winners here at this racetrack. And then Chris Buescher and Ty Gibbs, also a very solid matchup. Buescher has historically had some very solid runs here at Dover. Ty Gibbs, you know, we haven't really had that big of a sample size, but he's been solid. So Gibbs and Buescher, Bowman and Busch, those are your in-season challenge final 4 for next week in Dover. And so here, at the end of the video, as always, I want to give a shout out to my channel members. So thank you so much to JJ, Brenda Breen, and Jeremy Isley. Really appreciate your guys' support. It means a ton to me. Helps this channel and I continue to grow, produce some awesome content. Now pushing towards 2,000 subscribers. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. And if you are watching and are not subscribed, please do subscribe. It's completely free. It only takes a couple of seconds. I would really, really appreciate it. If you want to get a shout out at the end of the video like these 3 and become a paid channel member, link is in the description down below. Until next week when we are in Dover, I hope you all have a good one.